Stalker 2 is a unforgiving first-person shooter that takes place in Chernobyl, and your job as a stalker is to survive. There are rival stalkers, mercenaries, enemy factions, and mutants to contest with while you're trying to survive this world. Now, most of my time was spent walking around the map and dying, looking for stashes and dying, killing creatures and dying, and helping out survivors. Did I mention I was dying a lot in this game? This is not a easy game to play through. This game requires a lot of thinking and a lot of patience. So if you're still on the fence about getting this game, I hope right now that I can help you make your decision. And if you're already playing this game and you think it's too hard or it's unfair, then I'm hopefully going to explain to you why this game is not going to be for you. Now, this game is a survival shooter with a heavy emphasis on survival. If you're going to come into this game expecting your hand to be held, then you're not going to enjoy your time in here. Mainly because there's a ton of micromanagement that you have to deal with, starting with the weight management system. Now, your character can carry up to 80 kilograms or 176 pounds. This, of course, can be increased with artifacts and other upgrades, but it's not going to happen until maybe 10 hours into the game, unless you're a really fast player. With that in mind, you have to be mindful of what you pick up. You'll mostly be collecting guns, ammunition, healing items, and food. Guns will quickly increase your weight limit, and the higher it is, the slower you'll move until you can't move at all. One way to avoid running into this issue is to not pick up any broken guns, because yes, there is a gun durability system in the game, and picking up every single gun that's in the red is not a good idea. It costs a lot to repair it, and you can't resell it for profit. Unless it's a gun that you like and don't already have, you're better off unloading the ammo and leaving it behind. Ammunition and food are both very important to your survival, but it also weighs you down. So if you aren't going to use them, then you need to stash them away or sell them. Once you make it into the first community, there's going to be a yellow chest next to a trader where you can stash all your belongings, and it's shared through each community every time you go to a trader, so there's no need for you to carry all your stuff around with you forever. I always store extra ammo there, or ammo that I'm not using, because there's no need for me to carry 800 rounds on me. Now, when you're not micromanaging your inventory, you're more than likely struggling to stay alive in the zone. This game has some tough enemies, from other stalkers to strong mutants with a ton of health. This is not a game where you can just mow down your enemies and move on. You have to think about every engagement you get into. Enemies hit hard and continuously. When fighting against humans, they don't miss often and will throw grenades to make you move from cover. Slow and calculated headshots are going to be the best way to deal with humans. Mutants, on the other hand, that's not going to work on. They have a ton of health, especially the bloodsuckers, which are the most annoying things I have ever come across. They're like chameleon deathclaws on steroids. On top of all the health they have, they can also become invisible. Only become invisible when they want to hit you, then they run off again. They are by far the most annoying enemies I've had to deal with in this game. My advice to dealing with these things is to avoid them early on until you have a good shotgun. Then just blow them away. The worst thing about these mutants in the game is that they're worthless. You don't get any ammo or healing items from them. They just waste resources. There are also anomalies that can kill you if you aren't paying attention. You're given a device called an echo detector that can notify you when you're approaching one, and you have bolts that interact with them so you can avoid dying, but it doesn't always work. Some anomalies that you throw bolts into will dissipate, while others will just show you what it does so you can avoid taking damage. Now, we've talked about micromanagement and we've talked about combat strategy. So now let's talk about coupons, this game's currency. To put it simply, there's not much of it to go around. Missions don't pay a lot, and as I said earlier, you can't sell broken weapons for profit, but you can sell slightly damaged weapons, so it's not all bad news. Now, there are some players who believe this needs to be adjusted, and this is coming from former Stalker players. This is my first Stalker game, so I'm just going off of my own experience as a first-time Stalker fan, but I don't think it really needs to be adjusted, and I'll tell you why. So when I first played this game, took me an hour to get to the first village or whatever it's called. But then I spent like 9 hours wandering around the zone, killing monsters, killing people, looking for stashes. And I would take all that stuff, go back to the city, sell it all off, and then go back out and do it again. I am a time waster. I will leave the first dragon attack at Helgun and walk all the way over to the College of Winterhold to start that questline before ever going to Whiterun. And it's because I play like this in Stalker 2 that I don't feel the need to worry about money. I always have money on me because I'm always going out killing people and taking their stuff to sell. So no, I don't really think that they need to change the currency system for the game. What does need to be changed is the cost for repairing and upgrading your weapons, because that is outrageous. I could spend all the money that I just earned from selling to the trader just to upgrade my jacket to put pockets on it. That doesn't make any sense. And you definitely want to make sure you keep up with your weapon's durability, because guns can jam on you. Nothing more frustrating than trying to kill an enemy and your gun keeps jamming. Now, these are all observations I've made in my short time in Stalker 2 and as a first time Stalker player. This is not an easy game to play. It's slow, methodical, requires a lot of micromanagement. If you've mainly played FPS games like Call of Duty, Halo, Doom, really anything that has you running around the map like a maniac, this game is going to be difficult for you to get into. Even slower games like Metro and Prey wouldn't really prepare you for Stalker 2. The only game I can think of that I've played in the past that would prepare anyone for this game, aside from earlier Stalker games, would be Escape from Tarkov. These two games share a lot of similarities, and thanks to Tarkov, I'm not really struggling too much in this game. But I really enjoy how challenging this game is, and I wish there were more games like it. And I know there are other games like DayZ and Rust, but these games are multiplayer, and sometimes after a long day of work, I just want to enjoy this kind of game without being harassed by people online. If you know any other games that are similar to this that are not multiplayer and are not the other soccer games, which I still have to play, honestly, leave a comment down below and let me know, please. Hey guys, Lord Chrome from the future here. So despite what I just said, I actually have found a few games to play that kind of fit this niche that I want to play. First of all, Escape from Tarkov has a PvE mode that apparently dropped a couple months ago. I didn't know about this. I also discovered a game called Gray Zone Warfare, which to me is basically Tarkov but more fun. So if you were going to suggest these games to me, don't worry, I'm already on it. But that's going to be it for me on this one. Hopefully, I will be back playing God of War Ragnarok pretty soon, like I said I was going to. And I'll also be uploading the Metal Gear Solid playthrough that I have saved up. So look forward to that one if you're interested in my Let's Plays. I will see you guys in the next one.